Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Box Score Sports Podcast. I'm your host, and on today's episode, we're just going to really quickly make a quick clip of the Buffalo Bills trading for Amari Cooper. So here's the trade parameters. Basically, the Bills get Amari Cooper and a 6th-round pick. The Browns get a 3rd and a 7th-round pick. So I brought on Avery, our Buffalo Bills fan of the podcast, to talk a little bit about this trade, and then we'll talk about the Browns side of it, which will be super quick. But let's just hit on the Bills side of it. Avery, as a Bills fan, how we feeling about this trade?
I feel good about it. It's not like the greatest receiver we could have gotten, but it fit what we needed. Obviously, we needed a number one receiver, and he fit what we needed in terms of cap space.
Yeah. And what I really like, and maybe you can just break down what they did to make the cap work real quick. But I like how you mentioned he's not like the best wide receiver they could have got, but he's not like an average wide receiver either. He's kind of like somewhere in between. He's not like up there with the Justin Jeffersons or the DK Metcalfs, those types, but he's just below. He's better than average, probably better than above average. He's good. So yeah, it gives you a pass catcher. So you want to just break that down, some of that information you were sharing with me before we started?
Yeah, so Cleveland restructured his contract at the beginning of the season. He
Mm-hmm.
was due like 20 some million dollars. Before the season started, they gave him a signing bonus of $18.8 million, which means his cap hit was only about 1.2. And then you prorate that out through this point in the season. The Bills only take on about $800,000 in cap space. So
Yeah.
they didn't have a lot of room to work with, and that's what made this trade work.
Yeah, good job by Bills management. Now he's consistently 1,000 yard receiver. He has only 200, I think 250 yards on the year, 2 touchdowns. But we know the situation in Cleveland right now. Deshaun Watson is like a shell of himself, like he's a double shell of himself. So I don't expect that to continue. How much of an impact do you think he'll make for the Bills?
I think it'll take a couple weeks to get up to speed. He's 30 years old, so he is a veteran. It shouldn't take him super long, but you still have to build that chemistry with Josh Allen, understand the offense, the plays they're calling. So I would think the snap count will progressively go up until about 3 or 4 weeks into this.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree 100% with you. Now, I also think, would you say this was sort of a response to the Devontae Adams trade a little bit?
I mean, it kind of has to be.
Right.
I think all season long, the Bills have needed a number one receiver. They thought Keon Coleman was going to come on and be the guy, which he has the potential for, but isn't going to be as of right now. So they needed a guy to step up and be a number one receiver, and I think they found that.
Yeah, I agree. And like the AFC East is a 2-team race right now. Take the Patriots and Dolphins, because until the Dolphins get Tua back, they're not someone to even consider right now. So it's between the Jets and the Bills. The Jets lost to the Bills yesterday, so they made a desperation move. But I think this puts the Bills, not that I don't really think that the Adams trade, which I will have a video out of my thoughts of the Devontae Adams trade, I didn't really think that moved the needle in that big of a way, that I would have still had the Bills in front of the Jets. But I think this keeps the distance as best as they could after the Adams trade. It keeps the distance away from the Jets catching up to them.
Yeah, I agree completely. And I think some of the concerns that Bills fans have is that he's 30 years old, which I get. He's not a spry young chicken, but I pulled up all the other receivers in the NFL that you think of as like a top tier talent that are over 30. So Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp, Mike Evans, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, all those guys are over 30. I mean, it's not like he's toward the end of his career. He can still play at a high level. I think he's right at that cusp of low tier wide receiver 1, high end wide receiver 2.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. So good trade for the Bills then. You like it?
I do, yeah. I like it a lot. I said it before. We need a wide receiver 1. I think he fills that role really nicely for us. And he's got to be excited to get out of Cleveland, right? You touched on it a little bit, but to be able to get out of that horrible situation, I wouldn't want to show up to work every single day and have to be working in hand with Deshaun Watson.
100%. So grade it for me. Would you say a B, B plus, A?
Yeah, I'll give it a B plus.
Yeah, I'm with you. B plus for me too. Now on the Browns side of it, just very quickly, is this them throwing the towel in for the season? I know you might not watch the Browns a lot, but do you feel like they're kind of looking forward, like, hey, let's stack up on draft picks and get recouped next year?
Yeah, I would think so. Based on the division that they're in, the
Yeah.
Ravens are running away with it. The
Yeah.
Steelers are pretty good.
Yeah.
The Bengals, they'll become good, I would think, at some point. So they're in a tough division. I'm assuming they're going to have to drop Deshaun Watson or do something with that contract in the next year because he's just playing at an abysmal level.
Yeah, and unfortunately, though, if they even dropped him, I think I read somewhere or heard on a podcast where they still would have like 70 million in dead cap next year, even if they dropped him. So dropping them doesn't really do anything for them except getting rid of him off that team. Maybe right, exactly. Okay, Avery, anything else on this trade?
Nope, that's it. I'm excited. I'm happy we got somebody, and it didn't really cost us a whole lot. A third round pick.
Yeah, third round pick easily recoupable, and plus a lot of third round picks aren't even in the league after 3 to 4 years, so it's a good pickup.
Yeah, I don't think that they would restructure his contract if they really wanted to kick the can down the road a little bit or get him to sign a 2 or 3 year extension to keep him here. I think that would be great. Oh, I had one more note. The Bills wide receiver coach, he worked in Dallas with Amari Cooper 2 years ago, so there is a connection there already.
Oh, good. No. Yeah. And that's the thing. He thrived in Dallas. He's known for his route running. He's a good route runner. So I think that was a good guy, because even when you get into your 30s, if route running helps you get open. That's what it does, because you lose your speed, a little bit of athleticism, but if you got your route running, you're still good. Okay, man. Well, thanks a lot, Avery, for jumping on real quick and joining me for this.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. For everyone else, thanks so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know in the comments down below what you felt about this trade. What grade do you give it for both teams? Do you feel like the Browns are throwing away the season? Do you think this keeps the Bills at a good distance ahead of the Jets, or do you think it puts them equal to the Jets? Let us know in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you all real soon. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.